Before we react emotionally, we need to understand something clearly. ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, was designed to enforce immigration law and protect public safety. That was the mission on paper. Enforcement, investigation, national security, not intimidation, not fear tactics, not unchecked force. So the real question isn't whether immigration law exists. The question is how that power is being used today.
Tonight, mayhem in a Minneapolis neighborhood. Anti-ICE protesters banging on federal officers' vehicles who deployed tear gas to disperse crowds. This officer appearing to pepper spray someone out the window of a moving van.
Look at this behind me. You can see people arguing with that Border Patrol agent, with this federal officer. We're seeing scenes like this popping up across Minneapolis.
I'm mad. I'm very mad.
You're mad right now?
Yes. Well, not right now. I've been mad.
And this video showing immigration officers pulling someone out of a car who they say was impeding enforcement operations. The Trump administration now surging hundreds more federal law enforcement officers to the city.
But what we're seeing now across the country looks very different from that mission. We're seeing videos. We're seeing raids. We're seeing aggressive encounters. And when enforcement starts looking like an obsession instead of protection, citizens have a right to ask questions. Because when force becomes routine, accountability quietly disappears. Look at how they dress. How are you not at the borders? Lack of de-escalation training. And only know one approach, and that is intimidation and aggressive force. This isn't the same ICE that was supposed to protect the borders. Just look how they conduct themselves in this video. Trauma much. As a therapist, I want people to understand the psychological impact of this. Chronic fear doesn't just disappear, it creates hypervigilance, anxiety, trauma responses. Parents are afraid to answer doors. Kids are learning that authority equals danger. That kind of fear doesn't stay contained. It spreads through families and communities. And when trust collapses, public safety collapses with it. How do you feel about this? The fear? Feeling unsafe? As a therapist, I want people to understand the psychological impact of this. Chronic fear doesn't just disappear, it creates hypervigilance, anxiety, trauma responses. Parents are afraid to answer doors. Kids are learning that authority equals danger. That kind of fear doesn't stay contained. It spreads through families and communities. And when trust collapses, public safety collapses with it. How do you feel about this? The fear? Feeling unsafe? Let me be very clear about this. This is not anti-law enforcement. This is not anti-country. This is pro-human, pro-oversight, and pro-citizen. Power without transparency is dangerous, no matter who holds it. And federal agencies are not above public accountability. So here's the call to action. And I'm asking this as a citizen. Pay attention. Watch the footage. Ask, who authorized these actions? Demand transparency. Silence is not neutrality, and silence is a decision. If enforcement is necessary, it must be humane. If authority is granted, it must be restrained. And what we tolerate today becomes the standard tomorrow. Accountability is not anti-government. Accountability is democracy in action. In the days since we first talked about the call to action, this isn't slowing down, and we need to reach deeper into the truth of what's unfolding. In Minneapolis, a 37-year-old mother of three, Renee Nicole Good, was fatally shot by an ICE agent during a federal operation just blocks from her home. She was a U.S. citizen. Federal officials said the agent acted in self-defense, but video and statements from local leaders raised serious questions about that narrative and whether the response was proportionate and justified. Thousands have since come together in vigils and protests, not just to grieve Renee, but to demand accountability and transparency from the agency that is meant to protect, not terrorize. And this story doesn't stand alone. The surge of federal agents in Minneapolis has led to multiple confrontations, including another federal agent shooting a man in the leg just a week after Renee's death, and accusations of aggressive crowd control tactics, chemical agents, and actions that many say exceed what should be the standard for community safety. These are not isolated headlines. They are patterns of federal force without clear accountability, patterns of community distrust, and patterns of urgent ethical questions we must face as citizens.